Hey gentlemen, it's Dr. Rick Carter McClure here for another 7-minute therapy episode for the straight guy on the go. This channel, as you know, is dedicated to men, for men, and about men. And today's topic is, could my mother be a narcissist? And why is that important? Well, your relationship with your mother often becomes the blueprint in how you relate to your girlfriends and wife or wives in the future. So let's start with looking at the behaviors rather than the actual diagnosis, because I think that helps more than just looking up what that looks like online in the DSM. So a narcissistic mother often has other cluster B traits, which means that they also have histrionic or borderline personality disorder traits. And what that means is, if you remember your mother growing up, was she highly unstable, irrational, moody, where she just went from one mood to another in a day, and you just walked on eggshells around her because you didn't know what to anticipate? Was your mother often overly dramatic and made everything into a big deal and would just start crying at the drop of a hat, or started raging and got mad at you or another member of your family for no reason? And if she was still married, was your father often afraid of her too, where he just kind of went out to the garage or worked on a project or stayed in the basement and basically avoided her? And when you did talk to her, he would just say, "Oh God, your mother's crazy. I got to get out of here." And you, as a boy at that time, could have become, her golden boy, especially if you were the oldest son. And what that means is you were her little confidant. You were her little pseudo-husband, where she basically didn't have any boundaries and would talk to you about adult things. You could be 11, 12 years old, and she's confiding in you about your nasty father and how she might divorce him one day, and just don't tell him I said that. And you're looking at her wondering, okay, is there a screw loose here? But at the same time, it's your mom, so you don't want to be disloyal. And unfortunately, a lot of the golden boys become devoted to their mothers and even go against their dads, because they start believing what the mother is saying, and she can make up lies and tell terrible stories about what he's doing to her. So over the years, you are living with a mother who is ultimately believing that she's amazing and she can be grandiose and over the top, and one minute she just loves you to death, and then the next minute she could be raging at you because you did something wrong, or at your siblings, more likely, especially if you're the golden boy and you have younger brothers and sisters. A narcissistic mother will take out her frustration and anger on the scapegoat child. You probably heard of that. Or her daughter. Like, a lot of narcissistic mothers who have golden boys are just nasty to their daughters. And over time, as a young man in these situations, it's just so much to deal with psychologically. So you kind of check out and you rationalize her behavior as just being mom. That's mom. Yeah, I know she's kind of nuts, but that's just mom. Now, when you get into college and adulthood, this is where it becomes problematic, especially because you're going to start dating, girls and women. And all of a sudden you notice that your mother is just so jealous and manipulative. And no matter which girl you bring home, there's something wrong with her. And your mom might not say it in a nasty way. She might just pull you aside and say, "Are you sure she's the right girl for you?" And then you say, "What do you mean, Mom?" "Oh, nothing. It's probably just me. Don't worry about it." But you just question it then, and you doubt yourself a lot. And you're not used to understanding what your own feelings are, because you've tended to her feelings all your life. It's always been about your mom and making sure she's okay and making sure mom's not feeling bad. And especially if dad and mom had a fight in front of you, you had to go, hug your mother and console her. And this is the blueprint that you have now as an adult. So then you start questioning whether or not the woman that you're enjoying or dating is right for you. And eventually you may even ask your mother advice. Okay, what do you think I should stay with her? And your mom will say, well, it's really not my place to say anything. All right, but since you asked, I don't know. Has she slept around a lot? She seems kind of trashy. And are you sure she's not a whore? You know, stuff like that. And then you question yourself further. And of course, you don't want to bring it up to your girlfriend, because what are you supposed to say? Oh yeah, by the way, my mom wonders if you're a big whore. That's not going to go over well. So you might go through a lot of relationships where you find that that there's something wrong with each girl. And you also notice that the more you get involved with someone, your mother gets more jealous and she starts acting out in weird ways because you're supposed to be loyal to her. And you feel that guilt as you get involved with someone, and especially after you've gotten married, on some level you feel guilty and you don't truly commit 100% to your wife because you feel like you're betraying mommy. And trust me, she will manipulate you and make you feel like you are betraying her. So suddenly your wife, not suddenly, your wife probably has seen this from the beginning, but she's trying to explain to you in a kind, compassionate way, which over time she's just going to tell you bluntly, like, your mother is insane. But at first she's going to try to be kind and say, hey, I think your mom is just trying to sabotage our relationship. And you're going to go, no, she's not. Trust me, my mom loves you. Because to you, she says, oh, I love your wife so much. She's amazing. But to your wife, she's jabbing her, giving her backhanded compliments, basically letting her know that she rules the nest. So if this is happening and your girlfriend or wife is telling you this, you gotta take that deep look at yourself and look at your life growing up. Is your mother one of those, as they say, crazy women, like, you know, crazy chicks? Because if she is, you're very likely to date a histrionic, borderline personality disorder, narcissistic woman who's just crazy all the time and overly emotional and hyper dramatic and threatening that she's going to kill herself, and she's clingy and needy, and you walk on eggshells around her because ultimately she's insane. So that's all I got for today. So maybe you want to look up those stories and see if that fits. Talk to you later. Bye.